One huge productivity hack is simply knowing how to sequence your day, what to do in the morning, what sort of work to do in the morning, what sort of work to do in the afternoon, what sort to do in the evening. If you get this wrong, then all day is going to be a struggle. If you get this right, then obviously we want to challenge ourselves, but things will be a lot easier, and the challenge will be how much more extra can we get done? How many days in a row can we get our streak going of working on ourselves and working on our skill? Welcome in. Much love, Trav here, out another beautiful morning in Humboldt. And the mornings is when I like to record videos because it's an important thing for me to do. I have the energy in the morning, there's the privacy in the morning. Later, I've experimented, I used to do them in the afternoon. In the afternoon, the sky burns off, so it can be nicer, and I do it sometimes. Used to do it in the evening, but the evening, I'm more tired, I'm more subdued, I'm less wanting to be social, I'm more wanting to go to sleep. I find that I'm less creative. In midnight, after midnight, potentially can be a good time for me to write, but as far as recording videos, I look tired, and it was a struggle. One of the main things, if I do them later, is I start to retake them and redo them and try to perfect them and so on, and disrupts my sleep, and then I can't do them in the morning the next day. And I've been there, I'm not going back there. That made my work a lot harder, right? I like to get outside and exercise at the very first start of my day. Get outside, go for a walk, go for a bike ride, then record my videos because I have more energy, and this is the most important thing that I need to get done earlier, right? And it can be different for you, but we know that, as Sun Tzu said, energy is sharp in the morning, it recedes in the evening. So whatever's your most important thing, your one thing that you want to be doing, that you want to be getting done, if you're writing a book or you're painting some art or you're working on your body, do it in the morning, first thing in the morning, so it gets done for sure. Because if you wait, it might not get done. It becomes a struggle later, especially after you eat. And this is the thing. Once you eat a lot of food, that next hour or two, your productivity is going to go way down because your body is going to be working on digesting that in your gut instead of hunting with your mind. So you have to think about what you're going to do after you eat. You know, you can walk, or you can take a nap, but you're gonna struggle if you eat and then now try to do your hardest work right then. That's another mistake that I used to make, is eat a bunch. You know, I haven't eaten before I record my videos because I want to be at my sharpest for these, right? Okay. Now, for me, the afternoons, this is a good time to take calls and do calls and talk to people. For one, because not everyone else is up in the morning, but once my videos are done, and usually I'll eat a late lunch or skip lunch or have a light lunch so it doesn't slow me down too much. But afternoon is a good time for me to get on the phone and talk to people. I still have a good amount of energy and I'm warmed up to talk because I've been interacting with people, and also I've done my videos, which help me warm up socially as well, and for talking on the phone. And for you, I mean, the afternoon work could be any number of things. It's also, for me, it's a good time to get outside and get some sun and go exercise. Every time's a good time to exercise. And then next up, for me, the evening's a good time for me to learn because I'm lower energy. I'm going to be less about action and less about production, more about consumption. I find the evening and nighttime, it's a good time again for me to exercise because I don't have to think that much. It's good for me to read because I'm going to sleep soon. So whatever I'm reading, one, is going to help me fall asleep, but also it's going to recency bias. When we sleep, we tend to dream and think and internalize about things that happen at the end of the day. So I want to be ingesting new information immediately before going to sleep. And electronics aren't a good way, sequence this correctly. I'm on the internet for about an hour in the morning. and then intermittently throughout the day. I'm not on the internet before going to sleep. Important sequence. I used to be, and staring at this glowing screen though tricks your brain into thinking that the sun's up and that you shouldn't get to sleep, and it suppresses your melatonin, so it makes it hard to sleep, right? Sequence that right. You should read at night. You should not look at your screen. You can look at your screen in the morning. You don't have to read in the morning, right? So, important keys to sequence. And then I like to eat immediately before going to sleep. And a lot of people have this one wrong, because eating and sleeping go perfectly together. They are the sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic, right? It's the mode of the body where you're digesting and you're relaxed and your heartbeat slows and the blood to your brain goes to your gut and it puts you to sleep, right? It goes well, and you have a 6 to 10 hours in bed where your body's not done, you're still working, and you need that fuel, especially because of learning, and that's where a lot of the physical growth is going to happen if you're training. So that's an important sequence. If you don't eat before going to sleep, you go to sleep hungry, you may have insomnia, and then maybe you get up to eat a midnight snack, but your sleep is, because you missequenced this, your sleep is all disrupted. You wake up late instead of early, but you had bad sleep, you don't get your work done in the morning, you have to rush to go do your other work, and then you eat a big lunch and you're tired, sluggish, nothing gets done. You get home from work or whatever and you still haven't done that one thing that's so important, but you don't really have the energy to do it, so you go on the internet and suddenly it's fucking late again, right? Does that sound like you? Then you're sequencing wrong, and that's why it's a big issue, right? That's very important. So let's move on to strategy. As always, I want this to be something that we can apply right away. So for me, I'm going to reevaluate my sequencing of the day, and you can do the same thing. And I like to focus on today, but I mean, you can see the sequencing of months and years and so on, like this happens before this happens, ideally. But for the day, morning, coffee, and internet. I step outside on the internet for about 45 minutes before I go for my bike ride and my walk, and then I record my videos. You know, I think that that's a fine time for me to go on the internet, the first 45 minutes, because I can see what appointments are coming in. It's possible I could delay that. It's not going to be the evening. I think the morning is a fine time to do that. And then often after my videos I'll go surf or go do some sort of a workout, and then usually also that's in between those things, that's when I'll do my computer work if I'm like setting up websites and setting up appointments. Then afternoon I'll do the calls if I have any. Evening, train and learn. You know, I really like my sequence. I guess I've experimented a lot. A key is probably just trying new things, or trying it in new ways. But I really like my sequence. Very productive, get a lot done, and have a lot of energy. Previously I was doing a lot of intermittent fasting, and I'm still doing that a little bit. I'm not a breakfast eater, but I'm into lunch now because I just need more calories, and it's a lot easier to eat more calories in a bigger time window. It doesn't make sense for me to lean up more than I already am. So that's my sequence. You can tell I've thought a lot about it, and I have Magic the Gathering to thank for that, the game that I play, because that game is all about doing things in a specific order and adjusting that order depending on what your opponent is doing as well. But a lot of people don't really think about the order of things as being important, but you take the same things and change the order, you get totally different results. You take you could get this is why we want to do this, increase our productivity a whole lot. Do the same things, different order, have great results. So I hope you found that useful. Again, you share in the comments. Maybe you're on the phone, or maybe you're going for a walk or whatever on the car. You don't have to leave a comment. So leave a comment occasionally, please. Let me know that you're there and you're listening. But if your hands are free, what are you gonna resequence? What are you gonna change? Do you have any ideas for something you can change your order so that you'll be more productive and have more energy? I'll bet you found something, and I'd love to hear it. And I'd also love to hear anything that you learned about what else do you want to learn about, or what else do you want to hear discussed. So leave a comment on that, and I will check it out, and it'll be great. So much love, bruv, and I'll talk to you soon.